Riot podcast time, everybody.
Oh, it's the time you've been waiting for. You clicked on. You were
got it.
Expecting and ready to go.
Here it is, everybody. Happy Fat Tuesday.
Yes, if you're listening to this on the Tuesday, Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, that's it.
Yeah. And if you get tired today and you're like, you need more Riot because this is not enough, look, we got a couple of options for you. Demon Hunter interview from last week.
Yes.
It's up on our YouTube channel. It's up on our Facebook page. Same thing with yesterday's King Cake.
We almost said King Baby, didn't you? Do you remember why?
Yeah, write this down.
We had an old band member. His nickname was King Baby. And I think that's when we started learning about this King Cake, which is a Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday tradition.
And so I keep thinking King Baby because there's a baby in the King Cake.
That's just how it is.
Ooh, it's confusing. So there's that, and then a new Obadiah Plays, the Division 2 Open Beta. Yesterday was the last day for it, so I streamed an hour of that yesterday afternoon, and you can spend some time with that if you like.
And then this Thursday, if you're a Riot fan and you want to watch us host a special show, that'll be on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We always would love to have our podcast listeners watching us. That way you can get a full show, and that'll be on Facebook. If you go to RadioU, our station page, or RadioU Riot for our show page, follow us and make sure you get the notifications, and then you can watch us on Thursday.
So things in the podcast today, we talk about Crumb, the rapper, Apex Legends, an 80s, I wouldn't call it iconic, but a franchise.
I wouldn't even give it that.
It's a franchise. 4 movies is a franchise.
I know, but it is, but I feel like that's too much. Like it's nothing.
Okay, if you looked at it, it was 4 movies in 6 years.
That is a lot.
That's kind of a lot.
That is, but
right?
It's what would they call it again? It's not Gremlins.
Oh,
but
it's Critters.
Critters, that's it.
And, okay, funny you mentioned that, but I did some reading, and a lot of people said Critters was a Gremlins ripoff, and one of the big things that they kept going out there and saying is they could prove that their script was several years older than Gremlins.
Ooh.
Controversy.
Spilling the tea on the Gremlin guys and the Critters.
Okay, other things we talk about: coffee experiences, cleaning drains, sinus infections, and how you could win $20,000.
Wonderful stuff.
All right, you have a fantastic whatever you're doing, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I just want you to know that I started Fat Tuesday with a piece of king cake.
So yesterday we tried a Riot food fight. King cake is a tradition for Mardi Gras and for Fat Tuesday, and one of our amazing listeners sent us one. She's in Louisiana, so she wanted us to have a proper king cake. And that's the one where it's like a circle, a round one, and it looks like a wreath kind of. And they usually put a little plastic baby somewhere in the cake, and the person who finds it is in charge of the cake for the following year, and you get good luck and all this other stuff. So we have leftover king cake in there.
We do. Now, I scraped the icing off of the top because
it's not even icing. It's just like
sugar.
It's just literally pouring colored sugar on top.
I'm not saying it tasted poorly, but it was just too much. Like, just too much. But, dude, you take the sugar off of that thing, and I could eat and eat and eat it.
It's just a Danish, then. It's got cream cheese in the middle.
I know.
You can put different flavors in there. And
it's so good.
It's got the consistency of, like, a Danish.
Maybe even, like, a little bit thicker than that. Like, I feel like it has a thickness that is, to me, feels very unique to pastry. I don't feel like most of the time you get a donut, it's not that thick. And even Danishes, but maybe I'm just not eating good ones.
Could be.
Like, they're not that thick. That is like a thick.
Yes.
It's not quite bread, but like it's close.
It's like a morphing of all those different types put together.
A sweet roll.
So happy Fat Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, so today.
Do with it what you want.
Today's supposed to be the day that you eat all the crap that you're going to start fasting for Lent starting tomorrow. Or it's also known as Mardi Gras, which in French is Fat Tuesday.
Or if it's not something you partake in, it's just Tuesday.
It's just Tuesday. Well, and I mean, it's an excuse to eat something.
But in case you're like, why are there all these really ornate, very heavy, delectable treats everywhere? That's why, because it's Fat Tuesday.
You should have one. I mean, why not? It's Fat Tuesday.
It's the voice of Mardi Gras right there.
Woo! I'm just here for the food.
Well, and you enjoyed it.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
RadioU.
This is kind of a good one. All right, here's the challenge. This is coming from Crumb, formerly known as Play-Doh.
Oh, I miss him.
I do too. I really like that guy. He's supposed to be putting out new music soon, or at least he tweeted something about
Crumb,
it.
No pressure.
No. But I saw him tweet a couple weeks ago about working on a new album. So, and I thought he said that it was mastered. So hopefully that's soon. But dude, how about this? He says, I dare you to not complain, at least online, for the entire month of March.
That's a big one. Online? Well, I mean, we're not really that type, and I know a lot of people like to flow that way. Mm-hmm. So that would be a possibly stressful one for someone.
This would be a hard one. Okay, when is it complaining? I guess complaining might be hard to define, but you know when you're doing it.
Yeah, I think everybody understands when they are.
Because it's one of those things, like if I was like, hey, did you like this? It wouldn't be complaining to say that you didn't like something. It would be complaining to kind of maybe start it off and be kind of whining about it?
No,
Is that complaining?
I don't know. See, again, we complain in real life a lot, but I don't think we complain online a whole lot.
Well, but I know. I'm saying, like, what if we took that challenge to not complain in real life?
I think we'd have to do the real life one, and that would be harder. You'd catch yourself a lot doing it.
Oh, I'll bet you complain all day.
And then, for me, is it in my head? Is it okay if I don't say it out loud? Or, is it just making sure I try not in my head to complain?
I think that just by starting by not saying it, that's going to be step one.
Because sometimes I just keep it in. And I don't complain outside.
That would be step one. And then step two might be attacking the heart of complaining.
The inner complaint?
But maybe it all flows together. Maybe the idea is like, okay, I'm not going to complain out loud anymore, but if I keep thinking it, it's going to come out. So how am I going to replace those complaining thoughts
with some good ones? With
thankful thoughts.
Yeah,
okay?
I like it, Crom. That's very good.
So what are we going to be thankful for today? We're going to play the thankful game.
But if you are the type where maybe your friends unfollow or your family even deserts you online because you complain a lot, it might be best for you to start there too. Just to be aware.
I'm going to think about it. Like, I might be up for this, like a no complain march.
Well, get all your complaining out today, and you can treat it as if you do a Lent thing.
As of right now, I don't have anything to complain about, but we just got started.
I mean, the day is young.
I'm
sure we'll find plenty of things. Give us time.
Then you have to ask yourself, if I don't complain, how much show is left? Because, there's some complaining that happens.
Well, then maybe work hours don't count.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. RadioU.
Apex Legends. It's that game that a lot of people are like, man, it's going to beat the Fortnite.
Well, for some it has, and for others, there's been a hype, but it hasn't quite taken over 100% like that.
It's going to beat it, Nikki. Come on.
And it's free, and it's great, and a lot of people like it.
A lot of people do like it. So Fortnite, as you all know, free-to-play juggernaut that just entered, season 8, I believe? They have a registered player base of 200 million. They're now over 200 million. Now, that doesn't mean they have 200 million people playing concurrently, but it means they have 200 million people that are registered to play, et cetera, et cetera. I'm one of those 200 million.
But you don't play a lot. But yeah, it shows that you've just still been registered.
I have played it, and I understand why people like it. It's just not my thing. So whatever. Apex Legends. EA has just announced that they have crossed the 50 million player mark.
So 50 to what? I'm sorry, you said 200 million?
Mm-hmm.
But it just came out, so that's pretty good.
50 million is pretty good.
Good.
It's one of those things that a lot of people have basically said, look, this is it. We're done. Fortnite has filled this space. No one is going to be able to fill this space like Fortnite did. So all of you people that are out there trying, just give up. You'll never be as good as.
Fortnite, though, changed the landscape of gaming, so people still needed to try.
Yes. And people have taken swipes at it. There was Call of Duty Blackout that I would say that if anybody is hurting right now, it's not Fortnite. I think a lot of the people that were playing Call of Duty Blackout and games like that,
the bigger franchises of the day, of the past,
I feel like they are some of the ones that have jumped over and started playing Apex Legends. So Apex Legends, 50 million. Yes, it's only 25% of what Fortnite is doing, but let's forget about Fortnite for a minute. 50 million people is a lot of people.
It is.
That's a lot of people.
How old is the game? 1 or 2 months or more than that? Was it last year? Was it this year?
Didn't it come out like February 1st or February 5th or something?
It was on a Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, just out of nowhere, just dropped on a Monday.
All right, well, let's say maybe it's been out. Let's go with a month and a half. Feels right.
I think February 4th was the day it came out. I think it was the afternoon of February 4th, just out of nowhere. Boom, here's a brand new free-to-play game, et cetera, et cetera. So that means it's a month and a day. That's pretty good.
Still a baby game.
I mean, 50 million people. I know it's free, but let's say you got 50 million people, and what if 10 million of them buy a $4 skin?
It's plenty.
That's $40 million.
And I feel sometimes it can gather steam and closer to like summer for when you're taking a break. If you get a break,
yep,
it can pick up more steam then and get more players.
So EA says that it's sometime later this month they're going to do their first quote unquote season of content. What they haven't announced is prices. They did a Valentine's Day event, and a lot of people were kind of unhappy with just how expensive the stuff was.
The game had just come out.
But the season of stuff will be coming up, and I'm sure they're probably playing with the pricing. So the most important thing is that they get your money. I mean, that's what they said. I don't feel that way.
I don't know if I read that. I might not have been on there.
They're here for your monies for the skins.
They also just want you to sign up. That's free.
Buy a new character.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I'm going to throw a 80s, 90s franchise at you.
See if I recognize it.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah.
Critters.
Critters?
Mm-hmm.
No.
First film came out in 1986. The fourth and final film.
So there's movies and TV shows?
No. Just TV show or just movies.
Just movies?
There's Critters, Critters 2.
Ew.
Critters 3.
It looks horrible.
And Critters, you don't think they're even like a little cute?
Oh, no. They're terrible looking.
Not even a little?
No, not at all.
Not a little, like, if they were walking around, what if those, okay.
No, I'm judging. I think they look terrible.
What if those super sharp teeth are so they can eat bamboo?
No, it's not a panda. They're terrible looking.
All right, well, Critters was this film series that hit in the mid-'80s, and I'm reading about it on Wikipedia. It received 2 thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert when the original one premiered.
Some studio must have paid for that.
Nikki,
no, that was back then.
How dare you?
No one was policing that stuff back then. They had no idea. We're only policing it now.
There is something to that. But
because if not, who would give that 2 thumbs up?
You know, I said earlier, we feel like everything, they've rebooted everything, they've redone everything, but you're wrong. Up until now, Critters has been sitting on the shelf. But now it's back.
They're so weird, the little red glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm. It's called Critters, A New Binge. So they're these little guys that are about 6 to 8 inches tall, and they eat people, apparently.
Right.
They have glowing red eyes. They have flowing hair and big mouths for teeth.
Yes, it looks like for the... What is this on?
It's going to be on Shudder.
What's Shudder?
Nikki, you don't have that tier of cable.
Is it a streaming service or is it a cable channel?
I think it might be both. Because what I know is I do know that Shudder is a cable channel, but I don't even think... Okay, the last time I had cable, I had Shudder, but I didn't have it in HD.
Really?
I'm serious.
Who's not in HD nowadays?
I don't know, but it was one of those, but it's probably... Okay, you know what? You can get it as an online service. $5 a month, Nikki.
But it looks like they've got these 3 little critter guys, and then it looks like they were trying to copy the look of like Stranger Things underneath it with all the cast of crew.
But that's kind of the idea, is that they're going for that
that era.
Yeah, but it's a reboot, and it is modern. It's taking place in the 90s.
Coming from the producers,
the whatever this is.
Coming from the producers behind Sci-Fi's Tremors sequels.
There you go.
This is it.
All right. And look at this. I'm looking at Shudder right now. They've got exclusive movie. Oh, gosh.
Nothing looks good.
This is not...
Not our network. It's not our style. It's not our style.
This is not my thing. So, like...
Closing out?
That's gross. That's gross.
Like, is it scary stuff? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I'm looking at their movies collection.
Well,
like,
they didn't lie. Did it make you shudder?
It did, actually.
Okay, so that's where the name comes from.
Okay, all right. You know what? Good call, Nikki. They really delivered on the promise.
So if you remember some old movie series called Critters and you can't wait for it to come back, they said that'll be at the end of this month on that network.
And let's just be clear. I don't care how much you think, oh, there's nothing left. No. Everything you're seeing now that you think is new, they're just rebooting something you never heard of.
Doesn't mean someone's going to watch this, though.
Someone's watching it. Yep, they will.
I don't know on this one.
You know what, Nikki? I think people will watch anything.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot, obviously. Radio U.
Now, Nikki, have you noticed any kind of an itching or pain in your ear?
In my ear?
Mm-hmm.
No, not really.
Have you got any little goblins living in there?
Is there any bugs?
Should we get the little light out and shine it in?
I'll tell you, we've all been on Facebook and we've all seen those videos where it's like, out pops the bug from the ear. It's like almost like, what's the other one? The pimple popper one or the bug ear one?
Spoilers.
Oh, is it one of those?
Yeah, we've got a girl in China who has been reporting terrible pain in her ear. She's had headaches. So she goes to the hospital. They take a little peek and they pull out a cockroach.
Cockroach got in her ear.
Mm-hmm. They say
it was alive?
Here's the part that, yes. And here's the part that gets me. They say the cockroach was probably looking for food.
To like eat the earwax or something? Or no, just went into the ear. That's why.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe there's food in here.
So yeah, it went in during her ear when she was asleep, and then it got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, cockroaches have been known to crawl into people's ears in search of food.
You know, they say that you've got bugs like in your sleep.
No.
That you have bugs crawling in and out of you like crazy.
That's like something your parents tell you, like you're not supposed to go swimming after you've eaten. It's just that's not true. I'm ignoring that. That's lies. People told you.
People just say things like that.
Bugs are not crawling in my ear. We're not eating them all. And we just don't realize it. That's not it.
Nikki's over here like, hey, bugs don't crawl in me.
And I'm swimming if I want to.
I was going to say, she's holding a piece of pizza, treading water.
Okay. I'm not believing the lies.
None of it's real, guys. None of it's real.
So she was screaming because, I mean, you might not know this, but it's such a sensitive part and it messes with like your head. Mm-hmm. You're hearing all these noises and this little creature that's in there, and they finally got it out.
They've got a documented case in May of last year. Florida man woke up and realized there was a live cockroach in his ear.
No, it's not a cockroach there. They call them the
June bug.
The palmetto bugs.
And they also realized that it had laid eggs in his ear.
What do they do?
So they had to remove the eggs.
Oh.
So
this one.
What if they did? And you're just like, man, you're going to have the cleanest ears for the rest of your life.
You're going to the ear doc, which is a thing. An ear doctor's a thing. You're going to go there all the time.
That's what, yeah. You're just like, hey, I'm here for my daily checkup.
My daily ear cleaning.
Yeah. Or either that or like, roommates, friends, whatever. You've always got one of those doctor things in your pocket, and you're like, here, look in my ear.
Is it
Do you
fine?
see anything in there? Do you see anything?
So this professor from North Carolina State University who studies insects says that it's a safe space for cockroaches, that's your ear, because they are attracted to the earwax and the smell of it, and that's why they tend to go after getting in your ear. Okay.
Well, hey, everybody. It's time to clean our ears out, all right?
It's awful.
We're gonna get that thing taken care of.
If that ever happened to me, you would never know. I'm not going to acknowledge that. That's gonna be my private shame that I take till I die.
They do blur out this girl's face. So
yeah.
Nikki, for all I know, that could be you.
It's not me.
You sure?
It's not me.
She does have dark hair and you don't, so
but still, that's terrible.
Okay. Well, just a heads up, everybody. Clean out those ears.
Has anybody else had a bug in their ear? Just for listeners.
I want to put a bug in your ear.
That's where that came from.
I want to pull a bug out of your ear.
That's not caught on yet.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Proof that if you start talking about something, you're going to learn more than you wanted to know.
I think people feel comfortable texting us because we can't really see you like face to face, so you can still tell us the story. But I was asking, the 17-year-old in China had a live cockroach removed from her ear. Has anybody else had that happen to them?
We got this from Dan. He texted, and you can too, 8772 RadioU. My mother-in-law had a moth fly into her hair, and then it went in her ear.
No.
She wouldn't tell us what was going on. All she was doing was screaming. We had to call the squad, and they took her to the hospital where they had to flush it out.
Flush some moth out of her ear?
I mean, she just wouldn't stop screaming, I guess?
It's flying in her ear. Like, probably the flapping would just drive you crazy.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure it hurts. I don't know. You know what? I don't want to know.
You don't want to know what that feels like.
I don't want to know. Jonna says, hey, I never had a bug, but I did have a huge thing of moss in my ear.
How did that happen?
Like you would not believe. Wait.
Moss as in...
Are you telling me that, and this looks like Josiah, but boy, did we just butcher their name when we copied it into this program.
Be someone else.
Josiah,
how did that happen?
Did you lay down on moss? Please tell me moss was not growing in your ear.
Did it fall in? Is that what you mean?
I mean, maybe, like you're out playing, soccer or something. You fall over and, wow, there's moss in my ear.
Maybe it fell in and then it grew from there.
All right, here's one, a name I don't have. It says, I once had to go to urgent care for a tick to be pulled out of my inner ear.
That's great. As a dog owner, you don't understand. Ticks scare me so much. And can you imagine one in your ear? I mean, I had one on my arm and I thought I was going to lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me before, but I just did that thing where I don't think you're supposed to do this anymore. I think they've changed their mind, but I just lit a match, stuck it up on the tick, and it fell right off.
Yeah, that or you just take tweezers and pull. But in your ear, you got to get someone to get that out for you.
I'm always sticking matches in there.
It's like, hang on.
So big deal. Whoa, Josiah says moss was growing in his ear. How is that even? Dude, clean your ears, all right? That's a lesson.
Not to be your mom for a moment.
That's a lesson we can all learn. Clean your ears out. Get some Q-tips. They're not expensive.
You're not supposed to use Q-tips to clean your ears. You know that.
You know what? I've heard that. I don't care. I'm still doing it. I'm still cleaning out my ears with Q-tips.
I'd love to
whatever.
I'd love it's like you're cleaning out your ears. Like, what is that in there? Is that moss? How is this growing in here?
I don't think it's supposed to come out green.
Yeah, what is that?
Hey, yeah, you know what? I unabashedly use Q-tips to clean out my ears. And I've heard him say, you want that wax in there.
Well, it can damage your ears.
Look, I ain't jamming it down in there, banging on my eardrum.
You had moss in your ear,
you just get a little clean right around the inside there. You clean it out.
You're supposed to flush your ears, not use Q-tips.
Ooh, Kurt says ticks are arachnids, so technically that was a spider in your ear. And Jason says it sounds like Josiah's creating its own ecosystem.
I know. It's sustainable.
It rains in there. It's really something.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on RadioU.
Guess what happens this Thursday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific?
Someone's celebrating their show's anniversary. Yay! That's us.
Yeah, so this Thursday night we're doing that. We'll be live on Facebook. So why don't you go ahead and make plans. If you haven't yet, go to facebook.com/RadioU. You can like us there. You can follow us there. We'll be live. Also, while you're there, you can catch archives of our time with Demon Hunter last week. Yesterday, I spent some time playing the Division 2. And then you can also see us eating a king cake for Fat Tuesday.
Yes, so that's all located there. And then you're all set for Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
There's plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Now, Nikki, what's this new Starbucks drink?
I just started reading about it, the Cloud Macchiato. Whoa, it'll come in a cinnamon and a caramel flavor. Basically, it's
leche merengada.
Meringue milk, which is a Spanish drink that it's taking...
well, it says
not copying, but just like inspiration from.
Well, it's interesting. A meringue milk. I did not know that meringue is egg whites that are
frothed up,
with sugar in them and baked.
Yeah, you haven't watched enough of the Great British Bake Off then, because there's a whole show.
That's where I learned it last night.
There's a whole episode dedicated to that.
I know.
So for this drink, it'll have egg white powder for the texture, for the foam. So if you drink a lot of Starbucks cold foam, it'll kind of be a little bit more like that.
Okay, then since with all that egg white in there, does that mean it's going to have a lot of protein? It's going to be like a protein drink.
For the foam, they're not really pushing it like that. They're just maybe for allergy reasons, just letting you know the cloud has eggs
just
in
so
it.
you know.
But it'll be a bit more frothier.
But there's going to be more protein in it because the egg whites.
Yeah, if you want to say that, sure.
That's what I want to say.
That's what we want to say to make it okay.
That, Nikki, I'm trying to...
It's practically keto, guys.
Yeah, right? I mean, what would be wrong with that?
Just looks great. So cinnamon and caramel. Actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks fine. You know what? I'm telling you, the best thing that you can do for yourself is not to go down to Starbucks and try their new egg white, meringue, white, whatever. Here's what you need to do. Figure out whatever it takes for as long as it takes to just drink your coffee black. This will do two things for you. One, it's going to cut back on your sugar. And you need to, okay?
Come on.
We all got to cut back on sugar.
Is it just egg whites?
Okay, that's one. And then two, it's cheaper.
That's true.
And then three, you'll finally be a real man. And you're like, but I'm a woman. Doesn't matter.
Still be.
Because then, as a woman drinking black coffee, you can man shame then.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to have an experience. And how is black coffee an experience? That's the why bother.
I want you to know that in the history of all the times we've been together, that is the single most pretentious statement you've ever made.
I know.
Ever. That is the most pretentious thing you've ever said.
Don't you drink it and want a little something extra?
I'm talking about coffee, and you're like, yeah, but sometimes you want to have an experience.
You do. You want to have a little cloud foam.
You have been suckered so intensely by Starbucks marketing. It's not an experience. It's a drink.
I'm not saying Starbucks. You don't have to go there, but sometimes you want a little whipped cream in it.
Are we on vacation? Are they serving this to us at the beach? This is not an experience. You're in your car wishing the riot would shut up, and they're throwing coffee out the window for 3 times what it's worth.
Yes, that's the experience. We've learned to really grab onto that.
Man, at least just get some drip coffee and just be like, I'm bitter. I drink bitter things, and I spread bitterness wherever I go. Bitter.
Great. That's what it's turned you into. The bitter.
No, you're already that. And I think, quite frankly, this thought that I'm going to go and have an experience. It's going to take these...
I could say the same thing about a milkshake. Like, I just want an experience. I just want to go have something.
You sound like an addict. Is what you sound like. You're just out there like, you know what? All I want to do is have an experience.
I just want to have something fun.
I'll do anything for an experience.
Fine.
You know, Nikki, there are people in back alleys all across this country. They're going to help you have an experience.
Tied one to the other? Is that what you just did?
I don't think it's much of a leap based on what you just said.
I just wanted some whipped cream in it.
She's like, look, just take this pill, all right? It's no big deal. You're going to have an experience.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Right now, if you're bored, and I can't think of another reason why you would want to watch the riot, but you can head on over to our YouTube channel where you can catch an archive of yesterday's. I keep wanting to say either King Candy or King Baby.
It's a king cake.
But it's a king cake.
And the cake is a Mardi Gras sort of Fat Tuesday tradition. And it features inside a little plastic baby that the person who finds that when they're eating it, like if you're with friends, usually takes care of getting the cake for the following year, along with other stuff.
So you can see that, and you can see my new Obadiah Plays, The Division 2, if you want to know some more about that. Last night, I actually discovered there is a benefit to being hacked. Nobody wants to have their social media or anything hacked or taken away from them or whatever, but I'm going to tell you that that can actually be to your advantage. Now, what possible advantage could you have of somebody hacking your account? So I've had somebody hack my Epic account for Fortnite, and I had to get that taken care of. But yesterday, I had completely forgotten about this. I had somebody hack my Ubisoft account, which is my Uplay account. So that's like, you know, like Assassin's Creed and different things. And one of the things that I got hacked for was the original Division. So the very first game. So you can see me playing the sequel on Obadiah Plays on YouTube or on Facebook. But then also they took my original one. So when the Division 2 beta ended, I was like, I'm going to go back and check out the first one and see what's going on. Well, I had forgot I had been hacked, and I got that taken care of and blah, 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 whatever.
So by hacked, I'm sorry, do they play it?
Yes.
Or, okay, so they can play your copy of Division.
So I log in, and I think the Division allows you to have 3 characters, maybe 2. And there's this character I didn't create, who, by the way, looks almost identical to John Wick. The guy was obviously trying to make John Wick.
Sure.
And I'm like, bro, I don't know what this is, but I'm deleting it. So I delete it. Then I go into my regular account or my regular character, and I started playing. Lo and behold, all the money that guy made in game while he was playing got transferred to my other character.
Woo!
All of the gear that he got while he was playing got transferred to that other character.
Yeah.
So even though this is not real world money, which is a shame, when playing, Nikki, I am now a very, very rich Division player.
But the stuff that you got for the Division, will that transfer over to the second one?
No,
okay.
nothing.
Well, why don't you get a hold of the guy who broke into your account, was playing the Division, let him know you really like Division 2 if you wouldn't mind starting that.
Could you start this for me,
because
and then I could take it back?
Later.
Yeah. I think what happened was, if you've ever seen this, which not everybody probably has, but every once in a while I'll try to buy a game cheap and people will sell codes. So like, hey, I bought this graphics card. I got a code for a game. I don't want it. I'll sell the code. And that's quasi-legitimate. I'm sure the companies don't like it, but I'm pretty sure you can do that. But a lot of times what will happen is if you go on eBay or something, you'll see like, hey, we're selling this game for $10. And then you'll find out that it's not $10. They've just sold you an account and login credentials, and you log in to play this game.
You don't know you're playing.
They've stolen somebody else's account, stolen their games, and you've paid them to steal those accounts for you. So that's what happened to me. I got it back.
I'm sure the person, though, if they're getting credentials like that, they deep down know it's stolen.
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
I've never done it. I'm like, bro,
if you're
come
getting
on.
a download code, that's one thing, but
yeah, like buying an account.
Yeah, that's
shady.
That we know is not true.
But see, I think this is the one time in my life when I'll ever be able to say I got hacked. I walked away with an advantage.
Worked out to your benefit.
Yeah. So now, to fully use the advantage, I'm going to need to take a few days off so that I can dedicate that time to spending that in-game currency.
Go back to the Division 1 game before you get the second one.
Yeah. So I got a couple of other things I'd like them to hack, like maybe hack my bank account and leave a bunch of money in it.
You know it wouldn't work that way on that one.
What do you think, guys?
Hey, you want to help me with my work project? Come on in.
Look, you just broke into my Google Docs. Wow.
Have at it.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
If you can avoid ever finding out when something goes down the drain where it goes and what happens to it, you should do that. You should avoid that. You really, really should.
So really, then we're telling you to not do anything with it.
That's right. Like, just pretend that there's a black hole and it disappears. And if your black hole gets broken, you just call a plumber and you're like, hey.
And don't be there when he looks at it. Be like, what? I don't know anything about that.
I'm going to be downstairs, bring the bill, and I'm going to send the bill to my mom.
Bring the bucket.
Okay? I don't want to know what you found, what's going on. Don't tell me. Of course, that sounds like a recipe for you to just get robbed. But you know what?
These are the risks you take.
You run these risks. But yesterday, I cleaned my shower trap. Nightmare fuel. But then that wasn't all, Nikki. I cleaned a sink trap as well. Oh.
What was that?
Well, I don't know what all was in it, but it was a combination of...
How did it get down there? What all's down there? I think your shower would be worse, but is the sink one worse?
I think the sink... Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Because the shower has, your hair, but the sink, what does it have?
The sink also has your hair.
It does?
Oh, absolutely. And you've been brushing your teeth.
Oh, so toothpaste and stuff, too.
Toothpaste, after a while, it all just gets gummed up in there, and it's way disgusting. So, okay, let's get some details, right? To get it, to clean...
That's what we go... Everybody get closer.
Okay.
Get closer to hear these disgusting details.
You know the little stopper thing?
Yeah, you pull it out.
Okay, you pull it out. Pulling it out is easy. No problem. Do you know what's hard? Getting it back in.
Why does it fit in the slot?
Easy, right?
Does it? I thought you just pop it in. Is it back in?
You're a sweet kid.
I don't know these. Is it back in, or are you still...
Well, it is now.
Did you have to watch a YouTube video on it?
No, but it got really stuck, and I'm coming to the point of my story. So, I was trying to get it back in because, like you, I was like, that'll be easy. I just put it down in there, and then somehow it got in there and just lodged shut. And I was just like...
Ruin the whole sink.
All right. We've gone from a clogged drain to now we can't even get anything
it's
in
really
the drain.
Clogged.
Yeah. And, okay, this is the moment. This is the critical moment in any person's life. Is I had a moment where I had a choice. I was like, all right, I know words that were designed for this moment. I'm going to scream profanities that are going to, this thing's going to become so afraid it's going to pop out and apologize. That's what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to do. I'm like, or I can start banging on it, just hoping that violence will be the answer or whatever. And then I had a thought, and here's where it got me. I stopped for a minute, and I was just like, all right.
Oh, you took a deep breath?
I'm going to take my own advice. All right, God. I really need some help. I don't know if you've been watching, but the full thing is stuck, and I got a problem. And I kid you not. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Dad, that's dumb. God does not care about your sink being stuck. Like, he's out, ruling the world. He's taking care of something on Pluto. He doesn't have time for your little sink thing. And I was just like, God, I just need some help. I don't know what to do. So I stood there for a while, and then I was like, wait a minute. Downstairs in the thing, there's a thing. I'll use the thing, and pull out the thing. And when I went downstairs, God had just pulled it right out. And I was like, what? That's amazing. Now, God did not miracle the little thing out, but I am convinced that God in that moment gave me the idea I needed to unfix the thing, right? So look, I don't know what little stopper is stuck in your life today. I don't know what filthy trap you've got to get in, and the smell is so unbelievable. It's so unreal. You're just like, oh gosh, I don't know. But I do know this, that you can ask God to help you, and he will. He might suggest the right tool for the right job. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but I know when I got done, I was just like, God really helped me, didn't he? Boy, this sounds dumb. God help me.
But it was big at the moment, wasn't it?
In the moment, it was a thing.
It wasn't dumb.
It was a thing.
Nope.
It was a thing. So look, if you don't have a relationship with God, I want you to know that he cares about stupid little things in your life, like sinks, stoppers, whatever. So whatever you got, just ask him. If you don't know, just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I really need help. I got a backed up drain that needs cleaning. And it can be a metaphor, okay? It can be. But in my experience, it was real. So whatever. But God cares about what's going on today.
Dear RadioU, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the riot. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Sometimes it's little moments. I had a couple of those yesterday where you discover things about yourself that you didn't know. And I was standing there with some people yesterday, and they were like, hey, how are you feeling? Are you feeling better? It's like, yeah, I actually am. Like this afternoon, I feel like I'm feeling better than I felt in a couple of weeks. And they're like, yeah, those sinus infections are rough. I had one a couple of years ago, and it really knocked me out. And I was just like,
the person said a couple of years ago, and Obi's had one more frequently than that.
Oh, I have them twice a year minimum. Twice a year. And
You had a sinus infection, you had an ear infection, and that stomach bug thing.
Yeah. And so I was like, wait a minute. Like, you had one time? Like, is that a thing? Where people have, like, a sinus infection one time?
Years
and then, like,
years?
You don't get it again?
Some people aren't as susceptible to it.
Blew my mind. I literally was just like, wait a minute. So my whole life, maybe not my whole life, but whenever I got my first sinus infection, I think in like 6th or 7th grade, like after that, it's just been a normal part of my everyday, like whatever. Like, hey, you know what? Oh, it's happening again.
You can feel it. You know when it's coming.
Again. Let's call the doctor. Go in there. Hey, it's been a couple of weeks. How you doing? It's good to see you.
You don't have it that often.
No, but
might as well.
Yeah, like twice a year pretty much is a given, and it's pretty much around the change of the seasons.
What's the word? It's cyclical?
Oh, yeah.
Like he can literally look at Facebook and go back to the memories and pinpoint, like, here's the day again. I'm going to get it again.
Mm-hmm. It totally happens that way. So it just... I just was amazed. I'm amazed, Nikki. There are people that don't do that.
Yeah, but maybe they get the flu like all the time and they just don't get sinus stuff.
Maybe they just don't get sick that often.
Oh, so that maybe they don't get sick that often.
Maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Maybe.
Because I got to tell you, like me, I'm just like, yay, sick, wee. And to hear somebody say, they're like, oh, yeah, that happened to me one time. And then I'm like, man, do you realize that I spend probably a month out of the year or longer than that with a sinus infection? That's a whole month where I'm like dead tired, like I'm fighting just to do the basics, whatever. That person doesn't know anything about that.
They've never experienced that life. Aren't you lucky? Fortunate. What? They're missing out on a lot of fun.
What?
Mm-hmm. They're missing out.
What the heck? That's like, okay, I can't remember if I told you this yesterday, but over the weekend I talked to somebody that was like, yeah, man, I love working. You know, like, I get up early, I get excited about new projects, and like, I have to have people tear me away at night because I just want to keep at it. I just really get jazzed about working on stuff.
Going to work.
I was just like, wow, that's amazing.
I haven't met someone like that.
That's amazing. How do you do that? Like, that's a thing? And he was like, it was not like, he was not drinking coffee. He was not drunk. He was just having an honest moment telling me about it. I'm just telling you, like, the variety of human experience is enormous.
Everybody's different.
I do feel like there are some of you that are having maybe a little better experience.
Well, I think a lot of us, we flock together. That's why the show's here. We're all here together. We all act the same.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
Does anybody want $20,000?
Well, that sounds good.
I'm looking for a show of hands. Wait, hang on.
Was there a catch?
Does anybody who is good at singing want $20,000? And the hands go down.
Is it a competition?
It is a competition. It's called Twitch Sings.
Oh, Twitch is in Twitch?
Like Twitch.tv Twitch.
Really?
Like watch people play the video games or hang out and talk or whatever.
You can sing?
Mm-hmm. So they've got a contest they're calling Stream Star that is going to be part of the Twitch Sings game. So you have until tonight, well, I guess technically tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. Eastern or 11:59 p.m. Pacific today to register for this. So you go on there. They say there are about 1,000 songs that you can sing, and you basically sing karaoke to one of the songs that they have selected. You submit yourself, your performance to the contest, and then they are going to select 8 people, who will then be heading to a live competition, TwitchCon, which will happen in Europe, and then all of us at home, we can watch TwitchCon and vote
who the singer
who would be the winner. Yeah,
wonder if is it all royalty free music? Or what's going to be the songs?
I actually wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, they have all of these songs that they've either paid for or are royalty free or whatever to allow you to sing them this way.
If it's like, hey, here's 25 versions of Happy Birthday, that might be what you get to sing.
No, Nikki, remember, Happy Birthday's in the public domain now.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And so, yeah.
So it's free.
Christmas songs, stuff like that. Stuff that's past their copyright.
Patriotic songs, 4th of July things.
And here's my Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, you didn't know the words to all the stuff, but now you know them.
So I guess the song itself, the Twitch Sings, which is this thing that I don't even think you're going to have to pay for it. I think that it's something that Twitch will offer.
I don't think you need to pay for it. There's certain things that sometimes we don't need to pay for.
So the idea, and this is interesting, like people are speculating, like, yeah, there's so much music on YouTube that this might be Twitch's way to get people who are interested in doing covers and whatever. Come on over to Twitch Sings and sing yourself a song over here, and people listen to you. But you could win $20,000, which I won't because I can't sing. I mean, can I carry a tune? Sure, I can.
Yeah, but sometimes people
Do you want to hear it? No.
Some people who join those competitions, though, it's about charisma. It's about, just maybe you're not the best singer, but do you bring something else to the table?
The other things I'm bringing to the table are things that people wish were not at the table.
So maybe not you, but maybe others.
There may be others.
If you like that sort of thing, it might be fun to give it a try.
So if you just log into Twitch today or just go to their website, there's some details on it. But you sing a song, you submit it,
It's through tonight?
Yeah, you've got until tonight at 2:59 a.m. Eastern or 11:59 p.m. Pacific to submit it. And if you're one of the 8 people selected, not only do you win money, or will you get the chance to win money, but you get a free trip to TwitchCon, which is in, I think, Germany. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be good.
I mean, I don't want to
sing.
So
no recording contract? No, I just think that moment for those things are over.
I don't think so.
This is just a different type of competition.
You know, Nikki, you can take your money and you can make your own record label.
Yeah, make your own career.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Yeah, I'm bitter. I drink bitter things, and I spread bitterness wherever I go.